This is where you do your show and then you go home, you off, you don't bother with anything. And then sometimes, like, I open it up and I scroll down like 2 tweets. And this is where
Johnny sneezing, wearing short sleeves. What an idiot. He lives in Minnesota. It's probably freezing, but it got to wear the short sleeves, Johnny. Sneezing constantly.
Like the internet, like this is where you do your show and then you go home, you off, you don't bother with anything. And then sometimes it kind of creeps in once in a great while. Like you'll see something, you'll be like, I didn't need to see that. I don't care to see that. I guess it's because I follow them both on Twitter, but I see a series of tweets that show me that Josh, Denny, and Chad Zumock are beefing.
Oh, no.
It's just retarded. Why is it always retarded? Like, why is it always like I'm beefing with this guy? Oh, this guy and I, we have a beef. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I'm like one of the youngest people in the kind of sphere that we ended up running in. And I'm the only one who looks at all this stuff and goes, guys, you're all in your 40s. Some of you in your 50s. It's time to stop now, Mac.
Is it time to stop?
I think so. But
well, everybody's an expert. Carl's an expert on this guy, and this guy's an expert on everybody else. I mean, you can't even invent people that's stupid. This guy, his wife is fucking somebody else, yet he's an expert. He's above it all.
But they never stop. It's always just like, all right, who am I beefing with now? It's like nobody. You don't have to. You can just go do your thing. You don't have to beef with people, especially on Twitter. You don't need to.
Where should we do it, leader? Oh, great leader. Where should we do it?
Beefing with people. You're 40. I will be 40 in 3 years. And
how many ex-wives will you have then? How many will you have then? Let me know that. Here he has 2. He's 37. This kind of already has multiple sclerosis. He's cold, he's sneezing, and he wears a short sleeve.
I have been doing this show on internet only, coming up on it'll be 4 years, Black Friday. So
even Johnny's.
I will be 40 roughly in the same amount of time we've been doing.
See what he does with his eyes? He's like, if I have to listen to this fucking clown one more time, pontificating.
4 years, Black Friday. So I will be 40 roughly in the same amount of time we've been doing this show.
You can't believe it. He already has multiple sclerosis, and he's going to listen to this guy, which is worse. Day after day after day. And he's not allowed to do anybody else's shows.
On the internet. It's the same window of time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That feels like a long time. It feels like a long time since we started doing this Black Friday. So, and I have been doing this show on internet only, coming up on it'll be 4 years, Black Friday. So I will be 40 roughly in the same amount of time we've been doing this show on the internet. It's the same window of time.
Uh-huh.
Right.
That feels like a long time. It feels like a long time since we started doing this way. I can't imagine being 3 or 4 years older than I am now and doing that constantly. So Josh Denny yesterday at 6:53 p.m. Quote tweeted the MLC podcast and hold on. MLC podcast quote tweeted Josh Denny first. Oh, I'm still going.
Again, Josh Denny, I had no plans on doing any of this stuff, but because I was very busy yesterday. And then I saw something about think I saw some on Instagram or somewhere. Kristen Carney was promoting some gig. So and I saw it was Greg Geraldo Jr. So then I went to Google Greg Geraldo Jr. and a lot of Greg Geraldo came up. So on Twitter. So then Josh Denny had a bit of ball washing tweet like last year, and so it just popped up. So I just said, and then the rest is history. There you go.
Oh,
Basically, he was saying Greg Geraldo is better than Bill Burr and everything. And I said, yeah, except staying alive or something. And then Josh Denny was like, you said the same, or somebody said this last year. Like, I even give a fuck. And then I said, yeah, me. And then I guess he went back to it and he said, no, I was a day after the first guy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
So apparently Kevin Brennan was going after it. But let's watch Melton and Johnny Crutches talk about my beef.
I open it up and I scroll down like 2 tweets. And this is where, like, the internet, like, this is where you do your show and then you go home, you off, you don't bother with anything.
I'm just going to leave this up there. Full, thank you very much. I just want you more. You deserve more screen time.
And then sometimes it kind of creeps in once in a great while.
If you'd like to hit the like button, that'd be great. We're over 600 viewers. Now, I don't know if some of those are purchased by anyone. If not, I'm assuming we've been having a lot more viewers. I don't know what's going on, but hit the like button.
Like, you'll see something, you'll be like, I didn't need to see that. I don't care to see that. I guess it's because I follow them both on Twitter, but I see a series of tweets that show me that Josh Denny and Chad Zumock are beefing.
oh no.
It's just retarded.
I didn't know Steel Toe followed me on Twitter. I don't follow him.
Why is it always retarded? Like, why is it always like I'm beefing with this guy? Oh, this guy and I, we have a beef. I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, I'm like one of the youngest people in the kind of sphere that we ended up.
You're 37. It's not that young. Let me get to this one real quick because it's topical. Ski Mask gets more viewers than Josh Denny. That's a fact, Jack. That is 100. Ski Mask Collective gets more. Jim Stansel gets more viewers than Josh Denny. You're right. 100%.
Running in. And I'm the only one who looks at all this stuff and goes, guys, you're all in your 40s. Some of you in your 50s. It's time to stop now, Mac.
Is it time to stop?
I think so. But they never stop. It's always just like, all right, who am I beefing with now? It's like nobody. You don't have to. You can.
Before we go any further, let me remind everyone, because I have to do this from time to time, especially with Carl and Steel Toe and everyone that tries to change the narrative and rewrite things. Aaron, you started this with me. You're the one who started this beef with me. You were relentless coming after me. You and your dumb whore ex-wife would not stop. So don't act like you're better than everybody. Don't act like you're above it. You first started in with Stuttering John, then you're like, I'm leaving Stuttering John to Carl. Chad's my Stuttering John. So don't act like you're better than this. We're all making fun of you. Everyone. Kiki, who has awful podcasts, is making fun of you. I'm making fun of her too because it's sad. But don't act like you're better than this. That's what bothers me when Carl and Steel Toe think they're better than everybody. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Can just go do your thing. You don't have to beef with people, especially on Twitter. You don't need to be beefing with people. You're 40.
Let me take life advice from Aaron Emholt, everybody. Here, let me write that down. Aaron Emholt's giving me advice. Got it. I'm going to take all my advice from Steel Toe. the guy's life's in shambles, who has felony charges, who's going to have to take a plea bargain, who's out on bond. Literally, if he gets in trouble, he could get sent back to jail. But yeah, let me go ahead and listen to you as your audience dwindles and mine continues to grow.
And then, of course, he could have just ignored it because it's a tweet from last year. I was just fucking around.
Oh. This is getting exhausting for me to just see this.
All right.
See? There it is right there.
I'm still going.
Someone made the same joke in the comments when it was posted 10 months ago. I said, yeah, me. And then he's doing all this research.
Oh. This is getting exhausting for me to just
see. Greg Geraldo he put this out last year. Greg Geraldo's been dead for 10 years. Greg Geraldo was absolutely brilliant. Greg was better at everything people like about Bill Burr. It's like, Josh Denny's such a loser. Go ahead.
see this.
All right, here we go. So Kevin, Big Kev, tweeted about somebody. Josh Denny posted a Greg Geraldo clip from. Kevin Brennan responded to a Josh Denny tweet from December 6th, 2023.
Yeah, because I was looking up Greg Geraldo Jr. and mostly just Greg Geraldo stuff came up. So I'm like, let's have some fun. And Josh Denny, of course, couldn't leave it alone.
That's where this thing started.
I'm immature. How many ex-wives should I have? How many should be fucking Nick Ricotta? Come on, teach me your ways. Teach me your winning ways.
Greg Geraldo was absolutely brilliant. Greg was better at everything people like about Bill Burr. Okay, so he just tweets that. And Kevin retweeted it and wrote, except staying alive.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things to be if you're a comic. You need to stay alive. That's a fact. The fact that Greg Geraldo is so great, it would be like Don Mattingly can't get in the Hall of Fame because he didn't play long enough. So Greg Geraldo, one of the parts of your job as a comic or a musician, anything like where you're out all night and you have access to drugs and alcohol, is staying alive. So Greg Geraldo, one of the most important things of the gig is showing up at the gig. And if he's not alive, he can't show up at the gig. So he probably had a full calendar book. And he couldn't meet the commitments. Because he was sick. He's a sick man. So yes, it's a very important aspect of your job with all the temptations to stay alive. That's a fact, Jack. That's literally your most important job is to stay alive. If you're a comic, stay alive, do the gigs. So this whole thing, Greg Geraldo is so great. Was he? He had a very much abbreviated career. Was he? I used to watch him all the time. Vitale in that era was a 9. Geraldo was a 6. So Josh Denny, of course, tries to have like a hot take. Yeah, he's better than Bill Burr. He's not. He wasn't. He isn't now. He wasn't then. He used to be not as much. He still isn't. But again, Bill Burr figured out a way to not die. So he's better. Number one job requirement as a comic, stay alive.
That's very accurate.
Right, Chad? Chad, where are you?
I'm in undisclosed location.
Wow.
Yeah.
Super secret preparation.
Yeah, I still don't have internet, so I have to.
You're stealing it from Bear Ribs?
Yeah, I'm actually at Barry Ribs' house.
People like about Bill Burr. Okay, so he just tweets that. And Kevin retweeted it and wrote, except staying alive.
That's very accurate.
It's fun.
It's very accurate. Because, Bill Burr keeps getting hits. If they were both baseball players, Bill Burr keeps getting hits. He keeps elongating his career. more people get to see him, more people get to discover him. He makes more money. His kids aren't orphans. But to celebrate this fucking Greg Geraldo because he couldn't stay alive because he's too weak. He's a weak man.
Funny, that's a good tweet. Okay. So then Josh writes, someone made this same joke in the comments when it was posted 10 months ago.
I didn't tag him. I retweeted a tweet. Not a big deal. Happens all the time.
Also, not really worth saying. It's kind of a funny little thing Kevin said. Like, in a perfect...
Plus, I know Greg Geraldo. The first time I took Greg Geraldo on a college gig with me in 1994, and he wanted... I've told this story many times. He wanted to stay overnight at Franklin and Marshall, which is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They gave us one room because he wasn't even booked. I brought him as an opener, and he said, "You want to just stay the night? It's like 2 hours away." I go, "No." I said, "Why do you want to stay the night?" He goes, "Just hang out and get fucked up." I was like, he wasn't even a comic yet, but he's like, his first instincts are like, we have one shitty room, and let's get fucked up in Lancaster. Got it. So again, I'm not whistling Dixie, whatever the fuck that means. I know Greg Geraldo very well, just like Chad knows. Maybe I know Greg Geraldo better than Chad knows Ray DeVito.
Wow, that's pretty well.
That's a lot. That's a mouthful.
Perfect world. Josh Denny posts that clip. Kevin Brennan writes that back, and then everyone goes back and does their life.
Look at it and be like, oh, so you want to chime in 10 months later. Cool. And then move on. Like, why?
Or that doesn't elicit a reaction.
Right.
It doesn't necessitate a retort. It was Kevin just throwing a joke out there. So then, now remember, I just saw this morning. This is going to get to him and Chad Zumock. Remember a couple minutes ago when I was saying I keep clicking to try to find the original thing.
The original post. I got you.
So it was originally Kevin and Josh. So then Josh writes, someone made this joke in the comments when it was posted 10 months ago. And Kevin writes, yeah, me. Okay, again. Kevin's in his 60s. Josh is in his 40s.
Who cares?
This is childish.
Oh, I was just fucking around. I was bored. I was annoyed. I had to do shit. I had to go through all my mail.
You know what's childish?
I was annoyed. I didn't want to do what I was doing. So before I started with all the shit I had to do, I'm like, let me just. And then, again, I was not going through year-old tweets.
I have been doing this show on internet only, coming up on it'll be 4 years, Black Friday. So,
where's the racist joke? I thought a racist joke would come with that, because they're from the Cumia humor, like Chrissy Mayer, and there had to have been a racist joke. Where was it? You missed an opportunity.
I will be 40 roughly in the same amount of time we've been doing this.
And we will be having an anniversary birthday party show for me at Stoney's when I turn 40. And we'll do another roast where nobody wants to roast me. Then we'll call an audible and we'll bring Whiskey Pete in and we'll wonder who Whiskey Pete is.
I can't imagine being 3 or 4 years older than I am now and doing that constantly.
I can't imagine being a father of 3 at age 37 and being divorced twice. I can't imagine losing one of my ex-wives to another man when I let another man have sex with her while we were married. I can't imagine having felony charges with 3 kids, twice divorce. I can't imagine supporting a family of 3, an ex-wife with child support, with an internet show, a crowd-funded internet show, daily, 8 hours a day. I can't imagine being 37 with 3 kids, 2 divorces, and not having a job. So let's put it all in perspective. Aaron Emholt. Let's look at my beef with Josh Denny through Aaron Emholt's eyes.
So Josh Denny yesterday at 6:53 p.m. Quote tweeted the MLC podcast and oh wait, no, hold on.
You like how I'm covering up these dummies down here? I love this.
On MLC podcast, quote tweeted Josh Denny first. Oh, I'm still going.
Oh, this is getting exhausting for me to just see this.
All right, here we go. So Kevin, Big Kev, tweeted about somebody. Josh Denny posted a Greg Geraldo clip from. Kevin Brennan responded to a Josh Denny tweet from December 6th, 2023.
Just to let you guys know, there's not going to be a lot of commentary here because I have not seen this. But if something gets me going, I will pause it and talk about it. So I'm kind of watching with you to see this because I didn't see a lot of Kevin's tweets either. Proceed. Hey, Niso, press play. Let's go. I'm a shock jock. I just burped. If Josh is watching, clip it. You are awful at comebacks on Twitter. I don't know what you are as a comic with hecklers, but you're terrible. You should stop. You should stop calling yourself a comedian because your comebacks are horrendous. Rob Saul has better comebacks than Josh Denny's. Josh Denny is terrible. When I was beefing with him on Twitter yesterday, I was like, this guy is dumb. His comebacks are awful. So his comeback was, oh, somebody left that comment 10 months ago. Like, yeah, I'm sure Kevin was like, 10 months ago. He's like, I'm going to use this down the road. I saw that comment. I'm going to use it against Josh Denny down the road. I just got to figure out my time and when to execute.
Josh is in his 40s.
First of all, it doesn't matter, dude. He constantly goes to the age thing. It's like Ray with the fat stuff. Like, it doesn't matter how old you are, Aaron. You always have to point out someone's in their 40s. You were doing that to me. They're like, you're almost 50. Kevin's in his 60s. Yeah, but we're actual comedians. This is what we do. It doesn't matter how old you are. And again, you're 37, twice divorced with 3 kids with felony charges and no job. So what's your point? Where are we going?
This is childish. So then Josh Denny writes back, yours was 12-7. This was 12-6. Copying it is pathetic. Coming back a year later to do it again is pitiful, buddy. And he quote tweets the original except living. Why? Like, again, let me ask you, why? Boys, why are we doing this?
Well, I can see why Kevin's doing it. It's fun for him. Like, I mean, if you're...
it's so funny how Aaron thinks he's above this. I hate... Carl always does that too. I hate when they think they're above something. Like, why? I don't get it. What? That's so beneath me. It's like, no, Aaron, you're a fool. You're a fucking fool.
I was looking for Greg Geraldo Jr. because now he's a comic. He wants to be a cool guy too. And
you
so, on Twitter, I want to see if Greg Geraldo Jr. has a Twitter and what's happening with it and where he's working, etc. And the tweet from Greg Geraldo popped up about Josh Denny's posted 10 years after he died. I'm like, what? Why is he posting it and why is it responding to me? Let's go, Chad. We'll bring you in when he gets to you. I didn't even follow that part.
I said, you know what else is childish? Doing cocaine and wife swapping.
So then Josh Denny writes back, yours was 12-7. This was 12-6. Copying it is pathetic. Coming back a year later to do it again is pitiful, buddy. And he quote tweets the original except living. Why? Like, again, let me ask you, why? Boys.
Well, Josh Denny has nothing to do. I was just fucking around for a couple minutes.
He's a loser.
Why are we doing this?
Well, I can see why Kevin's doing it. It's fun for him. Like, I mean,
wow, this guy gets me. Johnny Rockets gets me.
He wants to come on.
If you're not really invested in this, and I can't imagine Kevin is too much.
He's not, because the next tweet, to go to your point, he retweets it and says, I'm trying to save lives. Geraldo. God, no,
Geraldo's a degenerate junkie. What?
Geraldo Geraldo was a degenerate junkie, a decent comic.
And I'm not speaking out of turn. I've seen Geraldo. I know Geraldo's MO. I've known him longer than practically anybody in comedy and stand-up. I met him early on. I was the first guy to get him gigs. I hired him as a writer in 1995.
For what?
I got some gig. William Morris, the tobacco company wanted me to do something and do this tour. I made a lot of money, and I got to hire some writers. And he was one of the guys I hired. He would show up late every time, hungover, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is in 1995.
Someone was doing
he's
well.
like, why? It's pathetic to come back a year later and do this. And Kevin's like, I'm trying to save lives. That's kind of silly. That's fun.
Yeah.
So then Josh Denny retweets that and writes, you're not even the funny.
And I just spoke about this on Saturday, how everybody's take is like, Kevin's insane because he doesn't get along with his brother. And it's every hack's go-to.
100%.
Neil's funnier than you. Right. Neil's funnier than maybe two people in our family. Like Neil, nobody considers Neil funny. Nobody. Anybody who knows him, but Josh Denny's such a hack that he goes for the hackiest. And I was like,
that's why I jumped in. I jumped in as soon as I saw that. I go, that is a hack, dude. You're not even a comic with that comeback.
Funniest comedian in your family. Maybe win that crown for a day before you assess the talent of other incredible comedians. I know you won't, but still needs to be said. Now, that tweet to me looks like, all right, guys, take it easy. Like that was remarkably unnecessary. That got hostile.
Josh Denny's a loser. That's why it got hostile. And he's a loser. He's got nothing. The guy's got nothing.
You went to street level pretty quick there, Josh.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's not a win for any of you.
No. This is not a good
win for the toe.
Win for the toe.
anyone.
Just back out now.
But that being said, why? Why do we need to do this? Like I said, Kevin's in his 60s. You guys are combined over 100 years old.
And I'll be doing this when I'm in my 80s, guaranteed.
He's twice
We don't
divorced.
need to be doing this to each other. Enjoy your Saturday. What was it? The 13th Sunday. Watch some football. So then Kevin's attack dog.
Oh, no, he's not my attack dog. I didn't even respond to Chad. I didn't even know what Chad was doing. I assumed later because, again, I had to go through all my mail because I had to do my taxes. I'm still doing it. I used to be doing it. I still am. So, yes, it's not April. Yes, I got an extension. That's how I do it. So
We're doing it.
Then I tweeted something about Josh, I know you're not doing well, etc. Let me know if I can help. I know you tried to get a gig with Gavin and Kumia, and that didn't work out. So then I just dropped off because I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking go back and forth with this clown all night.
I just saw the comeback, and that's why I jumped in. I was just like, this guy stinks. And I never liked himself.
He's a loser.
Yeah.
Why do we need to do this? Like I said, Kevin's in his 60s. You guys are combined over 100 years old. We don't.
Look how he's like the grown up.
He has felony charges and he's out on bail. Like if he gets in trouble, he goes to jail.
Right. His wife's fucking some fucking clown lawyer, and he's the grown up. He's the guy who's like, come on, you guys, pull it together.
Don't need to be doing this to each other. Enjoy your Saturday. What was it? The 13th Sunday. Watch some football. So then Kevin's attack.
You can watch football and still be on Twitter. It's so easy. And again, the fact that people think I'll never need to watch another football game and listen to the sound. So I can watch a football game and not even be distracted because I know what's going on. I don't need some other dude telling me what's happening in the game. I can watch them with my own eyes. I know which team's which, what down it is. They tell you all the stuff on the TV, on the graphics, what the score is. I don't need any volume.
Dog. Old Hurricane Milton survivor himself, Chad Zumock, jumps in. And and this is kind of cute, actually, because he's like getting Kevin's back, right? Like he sees his buddy in a bar fight.
Right.
And here comes Chad with a fucking bottle, just cracking somebody over the head with a beer bottle. So he goes, what really went down between you and Melton for him to constantly feel bad and miss you and for you to constantly call him gay? It's a bad look, regardless being a former co-host to a guy who isn't respected by any established comic working and has a history of grifting off of people. Who, Patrick? How dare you, Chad? How dare you? A guy who can't even do it his own.
Talking about Josh Denny now. You can't even follow this.
No, I was talking about Melton. Oh, I was talking about Josh Denny, but I think Melton and Josh Denny may have hooked up one night, like they were drunk or something. That's why, like, Josh Denny has these comebacks with Melton. He's always saying he's gay and stuff, and Melton, like, he really tries to get back with Josh. Like, he sends him like letters and notes, like, "Dude, I'm sorry, I was in a bad place." So that's what I think.
Show a guy who can't even successfully have a show. Look, broken clock, right, twice a day. But so is Chad insinuating that something homosexual happened between Josh and Patrick?
Yes,
I think so. I don't know.
Why?
Something weird happened.
We need to start a podcaster beef flowchart to when it gets to gay.
Josh Denny uses mayonnaise for toothpaste. I would believe it. He looks just like Melton. It's not a shocker they were best friends. Imagine being friends with Melton. Okay, let's get back to Steel Toe. Thank you.
If you're not really invested in this, and I can't imagine Kevin is too much.
He's not, because the next tweet, to go to your point, he retweets it and says, "I'm trying to save lives. Geraldo's
a degenerate junkie." What?
Geraldo was a degenerate junkie, a decent comic. So he's like, "Why? It's pathetic to come back a year later and do this." And Kevin's like, "I'm trying to save lives." That's kind of silly. That's fun.
Yeah.
So then Josh Denny retweets that and writes, "You're not even the funniest comedian in your family. Maybe win that crown for a day before you assess the talent of other incredible comedians."
First of all, that's the hackiest comeback ever by Josh Denny. It's so lame and played out. The whole Neil Brennan's more successful. Like, soon as I saw it, that's when I jumped in, because I was just like, Denny, that's awful. You suck. You're supposed to be a comic. And that's when I come in. So let's take a look.
"I know you won't, but still needs to be said." Now, that tweet to me looks like, all right, guys, take it easy. Like, that was remarkably unnecessary. That got hostile.
You went to street level pretty quick there, Josh.
Right.
I don't know, man. It's not a win for any of you.
No.
It's a win for the toe. It's a win for the toe. Shout out to My Lost Interest. He just Venmo'd $20. Glad you got your power and things are better. Thanks for all the great shows. You're doing it. Thank you, My Lost Interest. We're doing it. And you can always Venmo. You can PayPal, Kiki Bucks, Cash App. That too. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to hit the goal, everybody. We're going to hit the goal.
No, this is not a good look for anyone.
Just back out now.
But that being said, why? Why do we need to do this? Like I said, Kevin's in his 60s. You guys are combined over 100 years old. We don't need to be doing this to each other. Enjoy.
Again, Steel Toe's really, really fixated on age, like Ray's fixated on people's weight.
Your Saturday, what was it? The 13th, Sunday. Watch some football. So then Kevin's attack dog, old Hurricane Milton survivor himself, Chad Zumock, jumps in. And he
you know what's so funny? Steel Toe, it's so funny. I really think he still wants to be friends with me, like he wants to be friends with Gino. I think he really wants to be friends with me, and I won't let it happen. I won't let it happen. I got to get to this Carl clip. I don't know if we're going to have time to do it today. We might have hit overtime. I think Deadful put us in overtime, but I'll wait. We got so much to get to. Let's get through this.
And this is kind of cute, actually, because he's like getting Kevin's back, right? Like he sees his buddy in a bar fight.
Right.
And here comes Chad with a fucking bottle.
I didn't get into this because of Kevin. I just saw that he was going after Kevin, and I saw his lame comebacks. I was more angry at Josh Denny's lame comebacks. I go, that's not funny. That's hack. So that's when I got involved.
Just cracking somebody over the head with a beer bottle.
But I didn't jump in to defend Kevin. Kevin's fine on his own. Kevin's hilarious on Twitter. Kevin's great at coming back on Twitter. He didn't need my help. I was just mad Josh is not funny.
So he goes, what really went down between you and Melton for him to constantly feel bad and miss you, and for you to constantly call him gay? It's a bad look, regardless, being a former co-host to a guy who isn't respected by any established comic working and has a history of grifting off of people. Who, Patrick? How dare you, Chad? How dare you? A guy.
No, I stand by that. I stand by it because Josh Denny is always calling Melton gay and he's the F word. And I'm like, you were his co-host for forever. And you said you guys were best friends, and Melton was jealous about his girlfriend. And I'm pointing out that there may or may not have been some sort of weird sexual encounter between Josh Denny and Melton. And that's why Josh Denny hates Melton so much, is because he has buyer's remorse. Like they probably got high one night, drunk, and they probably like hooked up, and Josh will never admit to it. He'll never tell anybody, and Melton will never tell anybody. So that's why he hates Melton so much. So I'm just curious. I really mean that. That's not even me trying to stir the pot. I really do believe that. That's my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. It just seems that way.
A guy who can't even do his own show, a guy who can't even successfully have a show. Look, broken clock, right, twice a day. But so is Chad insinuating that something homosexual happened between Josh and Patrick?
I think so. I don't know.
Yes.
Why?
Something weird happened.
We need to start a podcaster beef flowchart to when it gets to gay.
This seems like, well, dude, we went way past gay a while ago.
I'm saying like accusation.
Now Steel Toe's trying to pile on this thing with me. I'm looking. Doodle says scorned lovers. AB says Denny loves cock. Datewall says KB can handle it. Aaron, yes, he can. The Kush King says agreed. Chad T Fam says probably. Trick Taylor 1983 says who's the bottom? Good question. The Kush King says he's had this exact feeling since day one. I mean, it's just right in front of you. It makes sense. Listen, I know Melton's got a lot of people fooled, a lot of dummies like serial killer, Brad Thacker, just weirdos in real life. But the rumors are out there. And I really do. If I was a betting man, I'd put money down that Josh Denny and Patrick hooked up one night and they both have buyer's remorse.
Accusations of gay.
Oh,
like it's like the Hitler rule. Like it's eventually going to get to Hitler. It's eventually going to get to you might be gay.
You might be a Mo.
Yeah. So then they start responding to each other. Well, we used to be what people call friends, says Josh. I know you're unfamiliar with that word, but I assure you it's an English one. You can look up what it means. It's when you hang out with someone because you enjoy it without benefiting financially.
So that was Josh's big comeback to me. When I saw that, I was like, this guy sucks. Is that supposed to be funny? Is that this guy's supposed to be a comic?
This seems like, well, dude, it's
okay. This is getting to gay right now, so I'm moving on. Sorry, guys.
No, like you told me to reach out to Denny to come on the show about Melton a while back, and he just blew me off. And then he said some shit about me on Twitter, and I'm like, and every time I hear about Josh Denny, it's always negative. No one ever says anything good. They say he's a grifter, he's a liar, he's a compulsive liar, he's not a good so it's just like he doesn't have the best reputation. And then he snapped back. I just saw his fucking tweet that was lame, and all his comebacks are awful. They're terrible. That's why I did what I did. I wasn't going to protect Kevin. Kevin can do whatever the fuck he wants. He has me blocked.
I had no interest. It was more about the fact that Greg Geraldo Jr. wants to be a comic. It's like being a comic at this point is like, come on, man. Come on. And Greg Geraldo Jr., it was like when whatchamacallit, Patty Rossbur's daughter. I mean, with all the shit Patty Rossbur and her husband had been through, Patty Rossbur was like, yeah, I'm gonna have my daughter become a comic. It's like, maybe Greg Geraldo Jr. should just get a regular fucking job so he doesn't die like his dad. That's my only suggestion. I mean, it's a slippery slope. Genetically, he's going to be a drunk or a druggie. He's predisposed. That's a fact, Jack.
I wonder if
That's a fact, Jack.
Oh. Chad writes back, oof, it would have served you better not responding at all. Josh,
he's actually kind of right there.
Yeah. I mean, look, Chad's doing all right here. Like I said, he's jumping in. This is like, DX is jumping somebody, and out comes Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he's just going to clear the ring.
No, it's not.
It's
not like that at all. Aaron, it's not like that at all. It's like the Road Warriors coming out and getting that Road Warriors pop, baby. That's what it's like. That's what it's fucking like. That'd be great. Niso, completely different guy. It would have been great if you hit that on cue. Niso, can I get the water rush? Can I get it? Water rush. Niso, yeah, we're going to go ahead and write you up today because you are, I don't know if you're on something, if you're intoxicated, if you're high, but you are sloppy as F today. I'm on location. I'm in the Velvet Room, according to Gary Player. I don't have all my resources. I need you today. So get off the weed pen like Melton and focus on your job.
Smoke weed every day.
Proven ignoring you won't make you go away. You're that fucking pathetic, says Josh. So then,
by the way, when Josh said I was that fucking pathetic, and Josh has how many Twitter followers, and who knows how many are bought? Because he has 0 to no interaction on his tweets. So let me pull this up real quick. Josh Denny. Oh, this is funny. Here, I'll come back to this. So Josh Denny, God, I'm not even going to get to the Carl stuff today. I got some great Carl stuff. And it's the thumbnail. The thumbnail is, I was going to hone it on Christian Sly, the producer, and Carl, because I have a lot to get to. But this is Josh Denny's Twitter. He's got 135,000 Twitter followers. He's following 19,000. That's the trick. The more people you follow, the more people you'll follow you back. Canceled comedian. Canceled. So he has like little to no interaction on his tweets. 3 retweets, 3 retweet. Like he's not. There's nothing there. By the way, this photo right here. I know where he got this photo done. This was at the Ice House. It's Michael Schwartz. He's a photographer who takes photos at the Ice House. I have 1 million of them. You can Google Getty images of me. But that was a big deal for Josh that he had a Michael Schwartz photography photo, so he uses it in every photo. But let's get back to Steel Toe talking about me.
And Chad writes, didn't you just tweet at me from out of nowhere the other day?
He did.
Just admit you had a gay experience with Melton and you're embarrassed and angry about it. Imagine being Melton's co-host followed by a shitload of haws.
I stand by that. Here's where it gets weird because Steel Toe hates Melton too. So he wants to team up with me and agree with me. But as you know, the Mud Shark rolls solo. I'm not Carl from Rochester. I don't have to pile on with people. I don't have to jump on a pylon or team up with people like Melton, like he's doing with that shitty piggy show that he does on Fridays at Carl. Holy shit, does that show suck. I watched a little bit on Friday. 4 guys sitting around talking about Steel Toe and just collecting super chats. It's embarrassing. It sucks, Carl. Your show sucks. And by the way, I'm blowing you away in live views. He's doing the creep off right now, and I'm blowing him away. That show, no one's watching the creep off. Oh, it's off now, but no one's watching that show with Vinny Paulino. Nobody gives a fuck. You need to shut that down. All right, let's get back to this. God, I'm taking forever. It's like today, Junior.
Oh boy.
So it just, and then, so then he responds with, imagine being Chad Zumock.
Another bad
If
comeback.
you could afford a gun, I'd bet my life savings it spends more time in your mouth than all my forks have spent in mine.
Oh, terrible comeback.
Oh boy.
Okay, so we've gotten to gay. Now we've gotten to.
Now we've gone to King yourself. This is not cool.
Yeah. And remember, this all started because Kevin Brennan simply wanted to make a Greg Geraldo being dead joke. And now Josh is sucking dicks and Chad is putting guns in his mouth and everybody's over 40 years old.
Doesn't matter.
Next one. Imagine that. So then Chad responds, imagine being Josh Denny and having simply the worst comebacks while calling himself a right-wing comedian. All right. Josh then writes back, wow, great retort. What a Zumock. All of this during the football game, by the way. We could be watching football right now.
I was watching football. You could do two things at once. Yeah, those Josh Denny's comebacks are terrible. They're just not good.
And just having a gay old time.
And if you look at all the retorts, if you follow me at Chad Zumock on Twitter, Josh is getting buried by everybody. No one's defending Josh. He has 135 Twitter followers. Everyone's saying I'm owning this dude. You don't get in the mud with the mud shark. You don't do it. Steel Toe knows. That's why he's kissing my ass now. Carl's finding out quickly. He's having buyer's remorse. The worst decision Carl ever made was we're going to turn Chad into the next Stuttering John. And then he start piling on with Chrissy and Kumia. It's not working out for you. It's not happening, Carl. Listen, we're not getting to you today, but I'm coming, buddy. I'm coming. Not that come, but I'm coming. So listen to me. Listen to me. You listen to me. Carl, it's not going to end well. You might as well just pack up and move on. Trust me. What I was 2 years ago to what I am now, it's night and day. So you can go team up with Melton. You can team up with anybody. You get back into business with Chrissy Mayer, who didn't go to Kiki's wedding, and neither did you. I'm going to take you down. It's happening, Carl. I'm better than you. I'm funnier than you. And God damn it, people like me. Yeah, but you don't know how to play the guitar. I know 3 chords.
Do you guys not have any friends? You don't know any ladies? Just something?
You don't even have to. You just go turn on the
console.
Then Chad writes back, my point with comebacks exactly. And then Josh, let me know when you make enough money from Super Chats that you can film a special of your comedy. Then people can compare it to mine and realize how dog shit you are. All right, now it's mean.
Well, I want to thank Deadful for gifting 40 memberships today. I want to thank Stephen Bravo for gifting. I want to thank Jimmy I for gifting 5. I want to thank you, Robinson, for gifting 10. I hope I'm saying your name right. D7876 for gifting 5. Because I might be able to film a comedy special so we can compare to Josh Denny, whose comedy special has a little over 7,000 views. A little over, and I'm going to watch it later. I'm going to watch Josh Denny's comedy special, and I'll give a review tomorrow.
Then Chad writes back, you're not fooling anyone, just like Melton. If you're not respected by comics and no one gives a fuck about your special, you buy views and followers, and those are pathetic too. Just stop getting something going online by beefing with me and Brennan. You'll forever be Melton's sidekick. All right? So Chad keeps going off. Josh Denny, I guess I struck a nerve. Keep losing your shit, Zumock. I've never paid for views or followers. It's why my view count.
Josh Denny cannot read a room. I think I struck a nerve. He didn't. I was watching football and laughing. Let's get through this steel toe clip. I can't believe it's taken this long.
Counts are so low. This is getting bad. You can't even keep your lies straight. I am and always will be a better comedian than you and a better man than you in every way. So now we've been gay. We've been putting guns.
He's a better man than me. Okay, Josh, you're a better man than me. Just do a quick Google search on Chad Zumock comedian and Josh Denny comedian. I'm way more established than Josh Denny. I've done it way longer. I have more credits than Josh Denny. So that's not true at all.
Guns in our
Thank you, Josh Denny, for coming into the Kumia's Cucks, because aren't you a Kumia's Cuck? You are, because you used to team up with him and do shows with Gavin, because you're right wing now, like Chrissy Mayer's right wing. You're a grifting right wing Trump guy. We love it.
mouths. Now who's a better man?
Apparently, neither of you are a better man to the point of realizing that this is just enough and stop. Like you could find happiness somewhere. There's got to be.
Have we ever heard the phrase "exercise in futility"? Because this should be the working definition of it. Is this Twitter thread? But wait.
There's more.
Chad's not done. 2 retweets, probably from your burner accounts. No one cares. No one talks about you for being a comedian. You're lame AF. Now, was that all of it? Was that the end?
That's fuck.
That's the end.
Oh,
Thank Christ.
wait, did you see Steel Toe's DMs? He's DMing TV's Will Heron. Look. We got to go back. Oh, wait, hold on. I saw DMs from Will Heron. Hold on. We got to see this.
F. Now, was that all of it? Was that?
Oh, here we go. Can we zoom in? Oh, I can't zoom in. I don't know how to do it. Niso. He's been DMing Will Heron, Prayer X10, Jesse PSO, or whatever that guy is. Potentially criminal. Breaking Baldo. Wow. I thought there would be something juicy in there. Damn it.